I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Megiddo Rising News Reports. And today this is going to be an expose of Alex Jones. Now, I want to say this flat out. It is not my intention to corrupt anybody or condemn anybody. I do not hate the individual, but there is a lot of hidden agendas, I believe, behind this individual, and with the information that I'm going to provide for you is going to more than likely prove that. I'm going to be dealing mainly with the political aspect and the political agendas possibly behind the scenes with Alex Jones and the three websites, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, and PlanetInfowars.forums.com. And after all of this, it'll probably be very clear what this individual is. He likes to claim a lot of things. And I'm going to touch base on the spiritual aspect right now. Because he claims that he is, born again Christian, and all these types of things, and he uses the Bible sometimes in retrospect of his stuff that he talks about. But the thing is with true born again Bible believing Christianity, the Bible says that we are to come out from among them and be separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. And also, the Bible also talks about that Jesus Christ must increase, and I must decrease. And what is happening clearly with Alex Jones, with the people he has on, number one, you see Jesus Christ being brought down low, okay? Instead of him remaining at his position at the right hand of God, being God Almighty himself manifested in the flesh. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So, in that aspect, I'm going to touch base on that real quick before we get into all the other interesting stuff. The thing is, like I said, I'm not here judging this individual, okay? The Bible talks about fruit, okay? And in Matthew 7:17, or 16 through 19, or through 20, it says, "You shall know them by their fruits." Now this guy claims to be a Christian, okay? Do men gather grapes of thorns, or figs of thistles? Even so every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits you shall know them. Now, we know he has guests on like Jesse Ventura and David Icke, and for most of you probably already know that Jesse Ventura is an evolutionist. He believes in the theory of evolution. And David Icke is a profound New Ager. Okay. Zeitgeist type deals. And the thing is, like with Zeitgeist and David Icke, and even Jesse Ventura, is you'll get truth thrown in with their philosophies. Sometimes you'll get a lot of truth thrown in with their philosophies. It's kind of like the decon box. You look at the ingredients of the decon box, and 99.5% of the ingredients are good for food. But it's that little bit of poison that kills the rat. Okay? I like to think of Infowars as presenting probably 80 to 90% truth. And then 10% of it is all propaganda and lies. Well, a little leaven is leaveneth the whole lump, even at 0.5%. And Satan operates in that 0.5% as well. He can give you 99.5% truth. But if you give Satan a centimeter, a millimeter, he will take a mile. at 0.5%, and that will corrupt you. So that's the discernment we have to be looking at when looking at these types of things. I use InfoWars site sometimes, and I also click on the links that are provided, and I see a lot of contradictions. I also see truth. Okay, but what is the agenda behind it? Is a question you have to ask. Another thing I don't like how Alex Jones always refers to mankind as a species. We are not a species, folks. Okay, Psalms 139:14 says, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. And in Genesis 1:26-27 says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. To the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. All the animals and all the fowls of the air and the creatures and everything like that, those are clearly labeled as species. We are fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. We are not just some simple species. Okay? That again falls into the whole thing of intelligent design type ordeals. Okay? And the ancient astronaut theory, where like long ago that these beings came on Earth and they created us, and then they took off and we're basically their little science project, and now they're gonna have to come back because we messed things up so bad, and and they're gonna have to straighten us out. That's like the intelligence design ancient astronaut theory in a nutshell. But clearly, with those little references alone, by the guests he has on the show continuously, the fruit there is not good. I'm not sitting here damning this individual to hell. I'm just looking at the fruit, and this is what we have to do. It's like the one individual that that exposed Chuck Missler. He wasn't condemning him. He was looking at the fruit of what he is involved with. And if we're not supposed to be partakers of the things of this world, and clearly Chuck Missler is, then is he a wolf in sheep's clothing? Is Alex Jones a wolf in sheep's clothing? Because he clearly, over and over again, mentions Christianity, that he's a Christian and stuff like that. That's stuff you have to really ask yourself. And there's a lot of compromise going on. So, now that I cleared that up, we're going to go to the screen captures and the articles, and I'm going to warn you right now, there is going to be a video I'm going to play that is going to have some offensive language in it. So, excuse me, I just wanted to forewarn you right now. I don't have the means to block or bleep out certain words, so I apologize right now, but there is going to be some references of that use offensive language. Just one reference in a video that I'm going to play. So without further ado, let's go ahead and go to the screen captures. And by the way, there is going to be a video I'm going to post a link below that details this as well of an individual. And I want you to click on that. And the articles I'm going to show you, there's going to be links highlighted within them. You click on those links, and and I have done this myself, and you can see that a lot of this is very accurate. As a matter of fact, most of it, if not all of it, is very accurate information. I will provide you with the main links. You click on the links, and you click on the hyperlinks that are attached to these articles, and you will see for yourself. Okay? I am presenting this to you. Again, this is not as meant for an attack. We are exposing the fruit of these things, and it's like It's the Hegelian dialectic principle, folks. Okay? Alex Jones is pointing to the bad guy, and he's saying he's all good, he's all for truth and everything like that. Whereas he is just as guilty as the bad guy is. Okay, but he's playing the role of the good guy. You see what I'm saying? Um, it's kind of like, I mean, they're both working for a Luciferic agenda. It's kind of like in Daniel 11, the king of the north and the king of the south. Okay? The king of the south pushes up against the king of the north. But the king of the north is corrupt, just like the king of the south is corrupt. They're both bad. It's the whole Hegelian dialectic thing. But they are both working towards one common goal. It's the same principles through wars. It's the same principles with the Muslims and the political Zionists. They're both at the very, very heads. They are being financed by, the same individuals. The same individuals finance both sides, the good and the bad. Okay, and you have like certain groups or certain people that are involved in the same groups, like Freemasonry. Like, for example, Netanyahu's a 33-degree Freemason, and Yasser Arafat was a 33-degree Freemason. So you see that whole principle there, okay? But anyways, I'm going to go to the screen captures, and this is going to be quite lengthy, so bear with me. And that's that. So, without further ado, here we go.
Okay. The first article, this was truthernews.wordpress.com. Okay. And this is from truther.org. Now, if you click on this link, this is no longer up. This has been taken down. But this individual was able to save the article and have it posted on here. So, but I will prove. I will show some other documentation on this. What he talks about as very authentic, and you guys come up with your own conclusions. Now, Alex Jones cancels speaking tour 3 days after exposure as possible Stratfor double agent. Okay, I remember listening to the show and I remember him talking about this. Okay, on February 12th, 2012, David Chase Taylor of Truther.org broke the story that Alex Jones was likely an intelligence tool for Stratfor, a private Zionist intelligence agency located in Austin, Texas, as detailed in the original article. We're going to be getting to that. Stratfor admits to being an intelligent gathering center, and therefore it stands to reason that Alex Jones and his affiliates of InfoWars and Prison Planet have likely been gathering intelligence data and info on patriotic Americans since 1996. And we're going to be getting into that as well. I'm going to prove this, and this is going to come out of one of his own sites, under his privacy statements. Okay, a lot of people don't like to read the small print on things. They just go ahead and sign up for certain things because they like what they hear. Look into certain things before you sign the dotted line. Okay? So since 1996, coincidentally the exact same year that Stratfor was founded. That's interesting. And this is from a quote from Alex Jones. Quote, "You don't know who's good or bad until you get to that crisis point." That was a quote from Alex Jones. It's kind of interesting. Just 3 days after Taylor's original article entitled "Is Alex Jones a Stratfor Double Agent?" was published, Alex Jones abruptly canceled his nationwide speaking tour without a reason except that the collapse is so imminent. That's all he said. I remember hearing the show. I remember hearing him say that. Jones went on to attack the links between himself and Stratfor by stating that he started his radio broadcast in 1995 And that was indeed self-made. Okay? I mean, he made that himself. On the February 15th, 2012 edition of The Alex Jones Show, Jones stated that he will attend the first 2 scheduled speaking tour dates in Dallas, Texas on Sunday, February 19th, 2012. And you can click on the link and you can hear him talk about that. And in Orlando, Florida on Sunday, February 26th, 2012. But that he will not be traveling and speaking throughout America as previously planned. And clearly Jones has been made as a traitorous spy and is running scared. Revelation of Jones' ties to Israeli intelligence should come as no surprise, since Jones has not and will not reveal the true Zionist control of America. Okay. Now, the bogus InfoWars news story. I'm going to kind of cover this in depth here. On February 29, 2012, the exact same day the story regarding Jones and Stratfor became an internet sensation, Alex Jones and InfoWars released a news story with the words Stratfor and Israel in the title of the story. The only problem with the InfoWars story was that it was old news from November 13, 2011, packaged as new news for February 29, 2012. Very interesting. Now, here's the official story, the new official story, right here. You can see the date. Okay. Stratfor emails Israel has destroyed Iran's nuclear program. Now, clearly, that never happened. Israel has destroyed Iran's nuclear program? I don't think so. So that right there should make you question some things. Now, as this already stated, this was an old news article from November 13th, 2011. So what I did was I went up to the search right here and I typed in November 13th, 2011. And this is what I got. All of these news articles from November 13th, 2011. Now you're going to find something very unique about this, okay? And everything in these first 4 pages are from 2011. You can click on these and you'll see. The only one that is not from November 13th, 2011 is right here. February 29th, 2012. Why is this automatically just placed in here amidst all of the November 13th, 2011? I'll tell you why. Because the context of the article never changed. Never changed. What happened was he created a new title for the story and he posted a recent date, February 29th, 2012, a couple days after this whole Stratfor thing really came in the fold. And here's the thing with search engines, okay, especially with news search engines. The thing is, if this was a older story presented as a new story, you can put a date on there anytime you want, okay? But if it's got some of the same context of a previous article that's written, it's still going to show up in the older archives. And obviously this is the case. Because again, you look at November 13th, 2011, November 13th, 2011, all of these are older articles. But then here's this one stuck in the middle here, February 29th, 2012. So this is very accurate when he says that this is a old news article from November 13th, 2011, packaged as new news for February 29th, 2012. Now, why would he do that? The bogus article was a calculated move by Alex Jones and his InfoWars crew to muddy the waters in regards to the information linking Jones to Stratfor by creating a bogus news story with the 2 key search terms in the headline. People searching online for information regarding Jones and Stratfor would be led astray, because they would click, key in Stratfor and Israel, and they would get this article. But here's the thing, it's actually an older article published as a new article. That's what you call deception, folks. Now, that was the updated article. This was from February 12th, 2012. Again, truther.org. Now that Alex Jones has been exposed as a potential Stratfor intelligence operative, his upcoming speaking tour may provide secret challenges for the Shin Bet security team that is likely responsible for keeping him safe. I mean, think about it this way, and like I said, he presents a lot of truth. But what is that truth? What is the agenda by presenting all this truth? Are the people behind the scenes, like Stratfor, CIA, allowing him to give all this truth in order to fool patriots or fool individuals into following his site, while that's at the same time that site is actually tracking those people to eventually arrest them at some point in time? I don't know. I mean, that's a very likely scenario. Now that Alex Jones has been exposed, it's okay. Alex Jones of Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com has long been accused of being many things, namely a CIA agent, a Mossad agent, or a Jesuit priest. While his true identity and political allegiance has been secret for many years, his time as the defunct leader of the 9/11 Truth Movement is about to come to an end. Based on the following evidence, Alex Jones is likely a Stratfor, which is short for strategic forecasting. Who's another big one that's in forecasting? It's Gerald Celente. And double intelligence agents. And again, Gerald Celente does a lot of predictions. That does a lot of forecasting. That does happen. Okay, but again, what is the agenda behind the scenes here? This conclusion is based on the following data and research which should leave little doubt that Alex Jones has been built up over the last decade to prematurely ejaculate the Second American Revolution, disrupt genuine political movements, gather intelligence on American citizens. Endgame. Alex Jones' film Endgame appears to be the cover for Operation Endgame, a 2003 to 2012 plan under implementation by the official Office of Detention and Removal Operations of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Bureau of Immigration and Customs Enforcement to detain and deport all removable aliens as suspected terrorists currently living in the United States by 2012. Based on following evidence and behavior history of Jones, it is highly likely that he is part of this operation. I will show this to you real quick. This is a real plan that was set up, and you can see it right here. Right there. Now, what about Austin, Texas? The city of Austin is the capital of Texas and home to both Stratfor and Alex Jones. The city also boasts other political intelligence operatives, namely Karl Rove, top Republican strategist, Stephen Jackson, founder of the Illuminati card game, Jamu Green, founder of the Rock the Vote, and Salona Bonewald, founder of the League of Technical Voters. Austin is located only 199 miles away from Lake Jackson, Texas, which is home to U.S. Congressman and 2012 U.S. presidential candidate Ron Paul. Needless to say, Austin represents a majority of the Republican right-wing power structure in America. Founded in 1996, a global intelligence company, Strategic Forecasting Inc., also known as Stratfor, was founded in 1996 in Austin, Texas by George Friedman. Alex Jones' career was also founded in 1996 when he began his radio career with a public access television cable TV program, but was quickly promoted and hired on a KJFK in Austin, hosting a show entitled The Final Edition. And also, this article doesn't mention it. If you go and look up Genesis Communications Network, you will see in small print that Genesis Communication Network, GCN, which Alex Jones is a part of, is an ABC News Network affiliate. Okay? I mean, you can't say for sure on certain things, but why? If the mainstream media is so corrupt, which it is, why would GCN have anything to do with ABC? Okay? I mean, let's look at the fruit here. I mean, what's going on here? Alright? Apples and oranges? Prior to Stratfor's alleged hacking incident on December 24, 2011, the following data and information was present on the Stratfor website. When compared, there is little doubt that Stratfor and Alex Jones' InfoWars and Prison Planet are indeed one and the same. And then here you go. Stratfor hacked. Anonymous claims responsibility. New York Times reports that hackers associated with Anonymous have apparently stolen subscriber information, including names and credit cards, from the security news site Stratfor. In an email to subscribers, Stratfor's chief executive, George Friedman, confirmed that the site had been hacked. Here's more details from the Times. You can go ahead and read this. All the links will be posted below. The apples. Stratfor website. Stratfor's global team of intelligence professionals provides an audience of decision makers and sophisticated news consumers in the U.S. and around the world with unique insights into political, economic, and military developments. So there you go. You want to know why? That some of these people are allowed to present such groundbreaking information, that when you look at all the information, you find out that it's true. You want to know why? That they haven't been disappeared or they haven't been killed yet? This is why. This is Stratfor. The company uses human intelligence and other sources combined with powerful analysis based on geopolitics to produce penetrating explanations of world events. This independent, non-ideological content enables users not only to better understand international events, but also to reduce risks and identify opportunities in every region of the globe. The company delivers content daily on its website in videos, emails, and books, and an iPhone app. Stratfor website. Stratfor delivers critical intelligence and perspective through situation reports, snapshot of global breaking news, analysis, daily reports that assess key world events and their significance, quarterly and annual forecast, rigorous predictions of what will happen next. Doesn't that sound like something that Alex Jones does? Multimedia, engaging videos and information-rich interactive maps. Doesn't that sound like something Alex Jones does? Intelligence guidance, internal memos that guide Stratfor staff in their intelligence gathering operations in the immediate days ahead. Currently, Stratfor's products are oriented around individual subscriptions, of which the premium product is the most comprehensive in content offered. Some of Stratfor's work remains available free to the public. Stratfor has some products available to the public, including private briefings, corporate memberships, a publishing business that includes written and multimedia analysis, and an iPhone application. Now, here are the oranges. Alex Jones and his team of reporters, writers, and producers routinely schedule, host, and quote former and current intelligence officials, such as Dr. Steve Pieczenik, which is Department of Defense, Wayne Madsen, NSA, Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Sheffer, Senior Fellow at the Center of the Advanced Defense Studies, David McMichael, which is CIA, Ray McGovern, which is CIA, and James Wesley Rawls, which is Army Intelligence, just to name a few. These intelligence operatives provide Alex Jones listeners with unique insights into political, economic, and military developments. Alex Jones and InfoWars use live reporting, websites, podcasts, video streams, videos, books, iPhones, applications, and a host of other media to attempt to explain and make understood world events. So just like Chuck Missler, why? If he is this anvil of truth, number one, why are we putting our trust in a man? Cursed be the man that trusteth the man who maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked, who can know it? Okay? We need to put our fear and trust in God, not man, for we ought to obey God rather than men. But look at the fruit. Why, if he does all this exposure, why does he affiliate himself with all these people that are at the heads of these companies, or that works within these companies? And he comes on there and he defends himself by saying, oh, well, there's some good people in these areas. Folks, they don't get to where they're at unless they're involved in a particular agenda. Alex Jones and InfoWars delivers critical intelligence and perspective through situation reports, snapshots of global breaking news, nationwide reporting, nightly news. Analysis, daily reports that assess key world events and their significance. Sounds just like Stratfor. Daily radio show. Forecasts, rigorous predictions of what will happen next. Who does the forecasting basically? Gerald Celente. Multimedia, engaging videos and information-rich interactive maps, movies, videos, and websites. Intelligence guidance, internal memos like guide InfoWars staff. Internal memos likely guide InfoWars staff and their intelligence gathering operations as they database addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses. Alex Jones' main product is merchandise in the way of DVDs, books, stickers, and clothing. But customers can obtain the premium Prison Planet TV membership, which allows unfettered access to all of Alex Jones' films, interviews, and broadcasts in high quality. Alex Jones' daily radio show, website, and iPhone application remain free to the public. People in high places. According to Stratfor, the company's publicly list includes Fortune 500 companies and international government agencies, although their client list is allegedly confidential. Like Stratfor, Alex Jones' publicity list includes celebs like Charlie Sheen, Willie Nelson, Jesse Ventura, Joe Rogan, as well as a number of other elite individuals within government, intelligence, Hollywood, and the corporate world. How and why Jones is so deeply connected to the elite, despite being a conspiracy theorist, is a mystery, and quite baffling unless he is indeed part of an intelligence network. Here's another thing to consider. 9/11 predictions. In the days before and on 9/11, both Stratfor and Alex Jones were making predictions about what was going to happen and who would be allegedly responsible. According to Wikipedia, Stratfor has a connection to the 9/11 attacks. Quote, from Wikipedia, at the time of the September 11, 2001 attacks, Stratfor made its breaking news paragraphs as well as some notable analysis predicting likely actions to be taken by Al-Qaeda and the Bush administration, available freely to the public. According to Alex Jones himself, he predicted 9/11 and the anthrax attacks that followed. Jones' information and insight is also free to the public. Clearly there is some sort of an intelligence connection at play. Stratfor, a Zionist intelligence operation, obviously knew of the impending 9/11 attacks which were carried out by the Israeli Mossad. Jones' job has been to make 9/11 an inside job, thus putting the blame squarely on the American government and its people rather than the Israeli Mossad where it belongs. Jones' numerous and baseless terror predictions, such as an impending bioterror attack, is likely coming from the Stratfor and the Mossad intelligence networks. Now, I'm going to expound upon this a little bit because I do believe it was an inside job because the government is just as corrupt here as well as the Israeli Mossad. And the CIA and the Mossad are one and the same entities, basically. You know, so, and, well, I mean, they both had their play in it, basically. Zionism. Stratfor was founded by Dr. George Friedman, an admitted Zionist. In an interview, Friedman was asked the following: does being Jewish affect the way you view the world? I begin, being Jewish, quote, being Jewish keeps things in perspective. He says, smiling, we lost 2 temples. Alex Jones' repeated denials and lies in regards to Zionism clearly indicate that he's a Zionist tool. Aside being married to an Israeli Jones, Jones has purposely lied and deceived his audience about the real Zionist threat to America. And here is the video on this. And I will warn you that there is some offensive language here that comes out of the mouth of Jones, and he just gets irate when this caller that called in happened a while ago, back in 2009, and it's clearly his voice. There wasn't no, makeup or anything done, and listen to what he has to say. Again, I apologize for the offensive language.
The globalists have got the power.
What?
The globalists have got the power.
They do. And you know who the global, yeah. And it's, and
Fast forward a little bit.
Because it doesn't even do any good. It's just, here we go.
Okay.
And also, I wanted to ask you, what do you say to people who say you have Zionist handlers?
Well, it's not true. People can say I'm a 14-foot tall, blood-drinking reptoid, but it's not true. What do you say about those that say you're handled by Zionists? Well, number one, it's not true. But number two, I do have Jewish friends, which people do grab and use, and I think that's really anti-Semitism. And if that makes me a Zionist-handled creature, then guilty as charged.
Most of the movie theater chains. Hollywood is owned by the Arabs and the Israelis for some reason. But the actual financing, I've looked into it, is mainly Saudi and Jordanian and the folks from Dubai and Qatar and a few other places. And then British, of course. And I knew the Arabs own the majority of some stock markets, but I was reading the Financial Times of London and learned that the majority of world stock markets are now owned by the Arabs. Because Arabs own Fox. You see, you didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that Arabs... See, Murdoch's only got a minority stock now. But the way the agreements were set, he still has board control. But Saudis own more than he does. So the point is, they just own everything. They control the whole deal. Mike in Wisconsin, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes.
All right, listen carefully.
I was liking to say that these groups that you guys try to illustrate here.
And also, I just want to point out that how quickly Alex Jones just loses it. And again, like I said, I apologize for the offensive language coming up. And now it's not going to play.
To try to pinpoint who they are. So I found that too.
Let me just stop you. You have the elite, the global elite that understand how humans operate. The first
Well, what I was going to say though is that I think two people in history have illustrated very well who these elite are, and two of them being Benjamin Friedman and Jack Bernstein. Benjamin Friedman and Jack Bernstein. Which I have transcripts of them on my website at prothink.org.
Oh, you're that stupid twit.
Yep, I'm that twit.
You look like such a weak little punk, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Alex.
Hey, take care, weakling.
Thank you.
Why don't you come up to New York next time I'm up there? I'll be up there this year.
I'll see you.
I'll be there.
You
hear me? I'm going to be there.
I'll be there the third time this year.
Good. You come up and talk to me.
All right, we'll have a little discussion.
Good, punk.
All right.
You little coward, you piece of crap. Hey, coward, I'm going to be in New York. You hear me, punk?
Hey, Alex. Alex, it's all right, man. You can calm down, dude.
No,
it's
fuck
okay.
you. Fuck you.
No,
this is the real radio show, punk. You just go ahead and come up there, you little cowardly soft twit. I dare you to come up to me in New York, you little punk. You little weak punk. Hey, you're a coward, and you're not going to be there, you little punk. Let him go.
Bet you I will.
Okay, punk, I'll see you there. All these guys, I've told everybody I'm taking the gloves off.
have it. I mean, that's basically out of his own mouth. I mean, you can't, like, there's no other way you can work around that. Unless you want to say, oh, well, that was fixed and all this kind of stuff. It's like, look, I mean, he never addresses that situation. He never does. And when people address certain situations like, you know, Jesuit affiliation and stuff like that, he just loses it. I mean, you go ahead and call into his show and start talking about Zionism and the Jesuits and stuff like that, and he'll just lose it. Do it. Okay? So, conclusion. Clearly, Alex Jones and his likely employer, Stratfor, have ulterior and devious motives when it comes to the 9/11 truth movement and the future of America. Exposing Jones and his partners in crime is the first step towards getting a real and independent investigation into 9/11 and saving America from its rapid free fall. Alex Jones previously attempted to bait the American public into a full-blown riot on the eve of Y2K, December 31st, 1999, by repeatedly stating that the Russians had nuked the United States. Jones' traitorous actions were to be repeated on February 6, 2011, when a thermonuclear weapon was to be detonated at Super Bowl 45, I think, in Dallas, Texas. David Chase Taylor's free ebook entitled The Nuclear Bible was published 10 days prior on January 28, 2011, in an attempt to stop the impending false flag nuclear attack. And it goes on with the conclusion. Now, more on Stratfor. The following is an excerpt from an article entitled Mick Strategy. Right here. This is a new read on Jewish life. United States, Mick Strategy. George Friedman built a private, subscription-based CIA, but is his intel any good? Goes on to say, how would you like to tap into an exclusive private intelligence service staffed by ex-CIA analysts who glean exclusive information from shadowy sources, cross-grid raw intel to detect relevant patterns, and alert you by email when their product requires your attention? Membership in this elite club will cost you just $349 a year, and you'll also get a free book that predicts the next 100 years of human history. Welcome to Stratfor, the brainchild of George Friedman, a Texas academic and sometime U.S. government consultant, who became an intelligence entrepreneur and runs what the press routinely calls a private CIA, out of an office building in downtown Austin, in a crowded market where the New York Times can't successfully charge for premium content. Friedman's thriving business targets a key market niche, corporate types with geopolitical exposure who are too busy, or too ill-informed to use Google. That's kind of interesting. So, now, prior to Stratfor's alleged hacking incident on December 24, 2011, which I just showed you, the following fact data and information was present in the Stratfor website. What is Stratfor's political orientation? I mean, you can go to Stratfor's website and read this for yourself. Stratfor is rigorously non-partisan and non-ideological. We are privately owned, not affiliated with any government or non-government agency. We are an objective intelligence service providing information about what has happened or will happen, not what should happen. We make no policy prescriptions or advocacy statements. What's the difference between news and intelligence? News is a commodity that you can get anywhere on the internet. Intelligence today is what's going to be news tomorrow. Stratfor provides three types of intelligence products. Situational awareness, which situational awareness is knowing what matters. And an intelligence professional's responsibility, Stratfor's responsibility is to keep you apprised of what matters without wasting your time with clutter. We provide near real-time developments from street revolutionary movements and military invasions. OJ's latest arrests and mudslinging in Washington and Brussels don't make the cut. Analysis. Stratfor tells its members what events in the world actually mean. We also tell you when events are much ado about nothing. Oftentimes, the seemingly momentous is geopolitically irrelevant, and vice versa. We discern what's important objectively without ideology, a partisan agenda, or a police prescription. That all sounds nice and good, right? Forecast. What's the forecasts? Knowing what happened yesterday is helpful. Knowing what's going to happen tomorrow is critical. Stratfor's intelligence team makes definite calls about what's next. These aren't opinions about what should happen. They're analytically rigorous predictions of what will happen. Well, here's the thing. No worldly entity is going to be able to predict everything that will happen. Only the Bible can do that. Okay? So, next article. Now, Alternative Media King hires CIA Stratfor agent as publishing editor-in-chief. Okay? This is from Suzanne Pocell. You can see a lot of her stuff also posted on Intel Hub. And I want to thank one of my subscribers for sending me this individual's radio show, Pete Santilli. I haven't listened to it yet, but I will get to it, I promise. Prominent radio host Pete Santilli of the Pete Santilli Show relayed source information to me to assist in the creation of this article. You can listen to his broadcast of his show here. Pete and I collaborated on this article to bring factual and sourced information that has been vetted and is absolutely verifiable. Molly Maroney is the editor-in-chief and graphic designer for Infowars.com. This is the same website run by Alex Jones, who also runs PrisonPlanet.com, Prison Planet TV, and PlanetInfowars.com, a social networking site. Maroney was hired by Jones in July of this year to run the new endeavor of the Free Speech LLC outfit known as the Infowar magazine. Prior to this employment while living in Austin, Texas, Maroney was a freelance graphic designer. However, this is the boring part of Maroney's employment career. In 2008, for less than a year, Maroney worked for the privately held marketing and advertising firm known as Grant Harrison Advertising. This company is a full-service marketing company specializing in graphic design, internet marketing, and search engine optimization services, SEO, branding, and social media exposure. Maroney's resume is very telling about her connection to Stratfor, the CIA, and her role at Infowars.com. And here is the resume. You can go ahead and call this number. You can get a hold of her. Here's her email address. You can email her, see if she'll respond. That's her official email address. So here is basically the main portion of it. Profile, education, published works, academic experience, and work experience. This is what I wanted to direct your attention to. Senator Whitmore of the Texas Senate, June 2010 to June 2011, compiled and analyzed pertinent news into packets twice daily for the senator, organized committee budgets requests, tended to constituent calls and letters, worked at the Senate Criminal Justice Committee during the 2011 legislative session. Why would Alex Jones have anything to do with these people that he exposes all the time? Parker Media, LLC, position held, researcher, coordinator, news monitor, designer, photographer, January 2010 to January 2011. Stratfor, October 29th through January 2010. Position held, marketing intern, situation report writer. Very interesting. All of these links will be provided below. You can look them up for yourself. They have branches throughout Texas, including in Austin, Houston, Austin, and Dallas. For 7 months in 2010, Maroney was employed by Parker Media, which is a media production corporation. Also employed at Parker Media is Richard Parker, founder of the firm. Parker, the founder, is both an award-winning journalist and a seasoned publishing executive. He is the former associate editor of the New Republic. Today, Parker Media's clients include some of the biggest names in news and publishing, such as CQ Roll Call, an Economist Group company, News Corp, CanWest Global Communications, as well as startups and their investors. Interestingly, Richard Parker's name came up when WikiLeaks released documentation known as the Global Intelligence Files, wherein over 5 million emails from the Texas-headquartered global intelligence company Stratfor was made public. These emails outline how Stratfor, an intelligence publishing front for the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, provided comprehensive intelligence for such corporations and U.S. government agencies as Bhopal's Dow Chemical Company, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Marine Corps, U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency. This is what this Molly Maroney has been involved with. And here she is working for InfoWars. It is called Connecting the Dots, folks. This is all this is. Stratfor was involved in selling intelligence from informers, payoff informants, money laundering schemes, and psychological methods facilitated sourced and often raw intelligence. The founder of Stratfor, Dr. George Friedman, has admitted that he's a Zionist. On a list of recipients of those communications was Richard Parker, founder of Parker Media, and former boss of Maroney during her employment at Parker Media. Richard Parker himself worked for Stratfor and executive editor between 1999 and August 2002. Okay. Now, let's see here. Now I want to take you to his own site for a moment. Jones' own privacy policy on his website, Planet Infowars, states that, I'm not going to read it from here, I'm going to take you to his actual terms of service on Planet Infowars. I'm right here, okay? And if you doubt that anyone's tracking you, if you go and download the free software A-Bind, you can tell. I got 2 companies tracking me that have been blocked just by going here. Right here. Okay? Google Analytics and add this. Okay? So I got people tracking me already. Just from clicking on this site. Now, we go to privacy. Privacy 3.1. I'm going to read through 3.6. Or okay, no, 3.7. This is his own privacy statements. This is his rules, basically. Okay. Of the privacy statements. 3.1. Protecting your privacy is very important to us. So we do not sell your personal information and will only use it for obvious, legitimate business purposes. Oh, really? How about this? By signing up with Prison Planet or Planet Infowars, you agree that we may use your personal identifying information to enforce this agreement, and when complying with an order of a court or other government entities of competent jurisdiction. Very, very unique for somebody that exposes big government like he does. 3.3. When you establish an account with us, you are requiring to provide us with a username and password, as well as your name, birth date, and email address. We use this information to contact you when necessary and to confirm your identity when you contact us. You are required to keep this information current at all times. Updates can be made on. Okay. 3.4. We use tracking cookies. We use cookies, log files, and third parties to create a profile of our users. And the information gathered is personally identifiable as belonging to you so that we can better determine what services and system adjustments will optimize your experience at the website. We may share this information with third parties. You see that? We may share this information with third parties, but only in a way that does not identify you or any particular person individually. Yeah, right. 3.5. The system allows you to use and purchase our products. The system. and services online. PayPal or another merchant account service provider processes your payments, and we do not store your financial information. 3.6. We may offer you opportunities to communicate with third parties, whether other on our website or that of an affiliate. Really? Please remember that we do not control or guarantee in any way the accuracy or safety of the content on websites not operated by us, or even content provided by others on our website. 3.7. Any information you disclose to third parties on our website or other websites becomes public information, and you should exercise caution when deciding to disclose any personal information. Well, if it's saying you should exercise caution when deciding to disclose any personal information, and this is supposed to be so privately secured, why would that be in here in this privacy statement? Okay? This is his own privacy statement. This is off of his own website. 3.8. We follow established security procedures to keep your personal information safe from unauthorized third parties. You alone are responsible for maintaining the security of your account access information, i.e. username, password, and email address. You alone are responsible for confirming the accuracy of your personal information that we use to contact you. Any email messages we receive that appear to be from the email address we have on file for you shall be deemed to have been sent by you or your duly authorized agent with full authority to act on your behalf. So, I mean, 3.2, 3.4, and 3.7 basically tells you that this website tracks you, okay? And when a user visits the InfoWars Prison Planet or Planet InfoWars websites, they are inundated with a Trojan cookie that maliciously tracks the movement of the user across the internet. In effect, all of your web surfing is tracked by Jones. Every other website you visit, login information, digital data, once you sign up for Infowars.com, okay? This is information that is very useful to Stratfor. Having information about users that frequent the website owned by Jones can be turned over to Stratfor for intelligence gathering purposes and is extremely valuable to a CIA operation that is trying to access the temperament of the general public. Through Maroney, Jones can benefit from protection by a CIA operation. His loyal listeners will blindly follow him and believe any story he produces regardless of the lack of validity or proof. Having Maroney on his staff gives Jones a clear and direct link to Stratfor. The other side of the two-way relationship is that with the Trojan cookies planted into users' computers, Jones can provide information about visitors to his site to Stratfor. For Jones, Stratfor, and Maroney, with regard to intelligence gathering, it is a win-win situation. However, for those who are looking for the truth, they will be sorely disappointed in Jones. There is a war on for your mind, and Jones is spearheading the spreading of disinformation to keep the general public docile, so that intelligence gathering on the visitors to InfoWars, Prison Planet, and Planet InfoWars continues for the benefit of the CIA. Okay? And here is an example of the cookie. Okay, this is done from MaxScan. Alright? Spyware found. 1. Threat. Spyware name. Rotate.infowars.com. Tracking cookie. There you have it. It doesn't get much better than that. Alright? One more. This is from Peter Santilli. InfoWars hires former analysis of CIA front Stratfor, Molly Maroney, InfoWars editor-in-chief. On July 2012, we already went into this, Molly Maroney joined the InfoWars team with a resume that should send conspiracy theorists frothing at the mouth with excitement. On Wednesday, 11/21 of this year, it was brought to our attention that a video was posted November 20th, 2012 by YouTuber Miss Sherry Lee. And I mirrored that video. You can also find it. I will link you to that, and I suggest that you watch it. I had someone comment on it that, oh, well, this has been debunked. Well, I just took you through his actual website and all this information, okay? I mean, it's kind of hard to disprove this. Now, here's the thing. Here is a LinkedIn type thing for Molly Maroney. You click on this, all right? Profile not found. It was there. We're sorry, but the profile requested does not exist. Interesting. Now, here's where the story gets very, very interesting. An extremely reliable, confidential government informant connected to the CIA has verified with Pete Santilli that Stratfor is much more than a commercial intelligence agency operating in the private sector. It has been confirmed that Stratfor allows the CIA to conduct surveillance operations within the United States under cover of a private U.S. corporation, Stratfor, which is contracted to sell intelligence data to government agencies, including branches of the military, Department of Defense contractors such as Trapwire, etc. Essentially, our entire corporate and government chain of command receives privately acquired intelligence data from CIA front Stratfor, whose profits total in the tens of millions per confidential internet emails released by Anonymous. For many months, Pete Santilli has received tips from reliable high-level informants who have indicated that they suspect Infowars.com may somehow be connected to Austin, Texas-based Stratfor Global Intelligence. Informants have also revealed that Alex Jones requires anyone who visits his new production facility, which contains his primary computer servers, must sign a non-disclosure agreement prohibiting them from disclosing the exact geographical location of his high-security facility. There is high speculation expressed by insiders that Infowars servers are within close proximity to Stratfor, and informants have told us they believe Infowars.com may actually be selling user data directly to Stratfor. Again, Planet Infowars' own privacy policy states the following: we may use your personal identifying information when complying with an order from other government entities. We use cookies, log files, and third parties to create a profile of our users. So they create a separate profile of you after you sign up with them, and the information gathered is personally identifiable as belonging to you. Oh my goodness. And it just goes on and on and on. Molly Maroney, basically, when you click on the resume here, I mean, go ahead and read all that, and then here, because if you click on this one, guess what? It's taken down. The content was removed at the request of Molly Maroney. Okay? That's kind of interesting. She was an intern for Senator Whitmore, Texas Senate, 1 year, 3 months. Intern for Stratfor, 11 months. Researcher for Parker Media, 7 months. Editor-in-chief, graphic designer, Infowars right now. Freelance graphic designer, self-employed, 3 months. And essentially she clearly describes her direct involvement with an extensive U.S. government document dealing with covert cyber warfare. And I'm pretty sure you might have read something of this nature before. China's cyber espionage and U.S. national security, a white paper prepared for Patriot majority. So all of this stuff is pretty well linked. Okay. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. And here is the episode 279 of the Pete Santilli Show. You can go ahead and click on that and listen to that. And that's basically all I have. So, with all of this said, and I will provide the links below, you can go and do the research yourself, folks. I'm just presenting this out to you, and you do with it what you will. All right. But based on what I have showed you, based on the connections, regardless if it's, I mean, there seems like there's too many coincidences here. And based on these connections, it is clearly that the fruit of this individual is not good. And I know a lot of people have done stuff on him before. Alright? But I didn't really want to touch it until something really big broke. And I didn't even know about this until maybe about a month ago. And apparently this started to break way back in February. And people are saying, oh, well, this has been debunked and everything. Well, number one, I took you directly to his site. I showed you how the difference of how, these changing dates on a news article doesn't necessarily move the entire content into a current date situation in a search engine. Alright? When clearly, like I said, over here, you have this one little February 29th, 2012 article in the midst of all these November 13th articles when this was originally printed or written. Alright? He took old news and turned it into new news to cover his butt, basically, because he was being exposed back in February. And, and it was coming in the open. And, he did everything he did to cover his tail. And now he hires this Molly Maroney character who worked for Stratfor, who has connections to the CIA, and now she's working for Infowars.com. See, the thing is, you can only hide things for so long, and eventually it's going to catch up to you. Alright? And, again, I'm not saying there's stuff you can't glean from that website. But all I'm saying is... oh, and that's funny, this whole start page privacy site, it's enhanced by Google. So, I mean, when you say, oh, this is a private, secure search engine, no, it's not. It's right there. You can read the details right here. Okay. Complete privacy, my behind. So, look at the small print on things before you just go chomping at the bits. Alright. And I hope this information has helped you. I'm only going to do this once. I'm not going to keep on going after this guy. I did it, and now I'm washing my hands clean with it. Do with this video what you will. And until next time, truth be told, truth be known, stay safe, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.